guys, I'm Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with you with The Sopranos, episode 9, first season.
BOCA. I
BOCA?
think this episode is called. Yeah.
BOCA?
So, last episode, the feds raided the family's houses. They looked for clues and weapons and money and all of that. But everyone was aware that it was going to happen. They have an inside person that told them about it, so they prepared. We hid a bunch of weapons at Livia's place, and hopefully she doesn't find it and say anything about it, but there you go.
Grandma
And-
was wild in her youth. If they find
if they find it, yeah. But so that happened, but Christopher was losing his shit because he believes he should be recognized for what he's been doing. Like, he killed the guy, but no one said anything about it, and he didn't move up. He's not a part of the official family, and he's pissed about that. And when they gave names on the news, they mentioned his friend who died a few episodes ago, and he was pissed because he's the one that brought him in, and so he should be recognized. His name should be mentioned, which, it was at the end. His name was in the papers. But dude, it's not a good idea to be recognized for this shit.
You would think that when you're working for something that is illegal, you don't want to be in the news. You don't want to be known by the feds.
You'd want to stay invisible, but that's not his case. Anyway, he's happy, so good for him. But yeah, he almost lost it last episode. He beat up a guy and the police was looking for him, so he's making a lot of mistakes. But this is where we are, so we're gonna have to deal with the consequences of that, and hopefully everything goes well, but I doubt it. Let's jump in this episode and see what happens. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reaction.
Alright, let's go. It's true also, Jennifer Sopranos, psychiatrist basically reminded him once again that you're my patient, I'm your doctor, I'm not your friend.
I'm not forgetting the rules for you. You lost it.
If you don't show up, you pay up.
Meadow, look out!
Come on, cover up! Yes! Brick wall, baby! Brick wall! That's it, come on!
Hi, honey. This fat kid is such a sneak with that elbow.
Women's soccer.
Walk it off.
What's with Allie today? She's sleepwalking out there.
She eats at our house 3 nights a week. I know she's got the energy.
That tackle was on ball, asshole! You blow that whistle one more time, I'm gonna stick it up your fucking ass! Get off the field!
Parents always get too invested in children's sports. Sometimes more invested in the kids.
Red 42! Push! Allie!
Music rising.
Go!
It's gone. Wee wee. You watch too much hockey.
Brilliant coach, he's a beautiful, brilliant genius. If he steals charity to a college scholarship, I'll blow the guy at midfield. Oh, you will.
This government's case, if there's a leak, it's in Tony's boat.
He just needs a push.
I feel it
Stop.
in my gut. I'm worried about
Fuck you, man. And he just heard that he's talking to someone.
You guys, where's Al? Supposed to loan me a cig.
I'll come with. Allie? Allie, what are you doing? Allie! Allie, oh my God!
Small cutting is the clinical term. It's a cry for help.
Her mother says she tried this before. A couple times. Principal says girls in sports, they do better. They don't take the drugs. They don't get knocked up. But not this shit.
The pressure.
Pressure to perform, to be good at everything.
Athletes have it. So maybe they don't do all the other shit, but that doesn't mean they're okay.
Last week I called you a whore. I might have been overstating the case a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
A bit?
The fact that she just is okay with them coming back is good enough.
You've always been a fucking genius, but this last move was the best move you ever did. Feds are never gonna surveil an old folks home.
Hey, Jace.
I need a place to hide my guns. Mom, you're going to the house.
You been to games?
Yeah, what do you got?
You leaving us? After 2 fucking years? Look at my little girl out there. You're breaking her heart. I am hugely conflicted.
Hey, nobody blew a whistle.
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Excuse me?
Why don't you give me 10 laps around the goals?
A friend of theirs just tried to kill herself. They're probably not in the mood. And if you're trying to ignore it, they'd hate that.
Who would have ever thought we could have been this contented?
We're looking at some real estate, some nice houses on the market. Maybe you'd like something bigger.
This is our place. You know how long we've been coming here?
16 years.
I thought she was like the girlfriend of the week, but 16 years.
You're such a powerhouse. When you kiss me down there, you're like a great artist.
Ta, Uncle got some moves.
Just keep it to yourself, okay, Roberta?
Yeah. What's so terrible about pleasing a woman?
Because they think if you suck pussy, you'll suck anything. It's a sign of weakness.
Ugh, old
To
mentality.
please a woman is a sign of weakness. Wow.
The way you do it.
Oh, look who's here.
Feeling better?
Yeah.
Go miss that left foot of yours.
Tony.
I'm gonna play.
No shit.
Are you sure, Allie?
I had a long talk with Coach Hauser and
Did he pressure her into playing?
Coach pressure you, Allie?
no, Mrs. Soprano.
How the hell's he gonna pressure her? Didn't have to call you on to stick around and finish what he started.
Dad.
What?
Something's going on. There's a reason why Meadow doesn't like him, or why she acted out.
I don't know why. Is it because I saw too many crime shows or something? But I always go to the worst option.
Yeah, I went to the
So you
worst
think-
option too.
Do you think that maybe the coach is doing something with one of his players?
I don't know, maybe. I also went to that conclusion. I hope not. There's also a reason why he went from I'm not gonna leave to just straight up leaving. Although it would have, I mean, it happened really quickly, so it's not like he would just decide one day to leave and the offer would be right there. So they're trying to force him out.
They're trying to bribe you
Convince
to
him,
stay.
yeah.
If you stay, you're gonna have a new TV each week.
Brand new, surround sound, HD TV compatible.
You can tell your friends it's a done deal. I already signed.
Contracts can be broken.
I don't think you quite understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. Only too well. You tell your friends I know all about them.
If you did, you'd do what they want.
Is that a threat? I have friends in law enforcement, and they would call this extortion.
They don't really care.
You tell those assholes Don Hauser will not be intimidated or bribed. I go where I want to, when I want to.
Well, no. Earlier in the episode, I was thinking like, oh, when you become friends with people like that, or you make deals with people like that, you put yourself in the path of, you know, making mistakes and doing some shitty stuff and dealing with the consequences. Unfortunately, when you live in a town where, you know, it's heavy with mob people and stuff, you don't really have a choice all the time. If they get involved, you're done.
Uncle June, how was BOCA?
Wonderful. I don't go down enough.
That's not what I heard.
But he said not to talk about it. Word got around.
Can I be excused?
How you gonna play tomorrow? You don't eat.
He's right, Meg. You need protein.
No, I don't because I quit.
You quit. But I'll leave back, you can go to the States.
A girl slits her wrists, and all you can think about is a game.
Well, it wasn't like freaking Cobain. It was just a little suicidal gesture, that's all.
And it's mentalities like this that send girls down that path, unfortunately. Girls and boys alike. They just brushed it off like it's no big deal.
Just because it was an attempt.
What was with you and Uncle June tonight?
Tony, you better not get in that coach's face.
Come on, tell me about Uncle June.
No, stop it!
I know you want
All
to.
right, okay. Gabby Dante's cousin and Bobby go to the same nail parlor. Your uncle... No, I shouldn't say.
Come on,
Tony, I
come on.
shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't say it.
Let's just say your uncle has acquired a taste for her.
Uncle
You know
June
what's
gives
worse?
that.
It's
World
nothing.
class.
Oh, he's a bushman of the
See,
Kalahari.
that's why I don't tell you anything, because you don't know when to stop.
If this ever gets out,
Like you don't do it, or any of your friends.
what goes on in this bedroom stays here, and you know that.
Once a year, I can resist the urge to gossip.
At least she took it as a fun joke.
A TV set? Do you honestly believe that they're gonna stop there? They tried bribing this man. What's next?
Since he said no, probably violence.
Don't pretend like you don't know what Tony Soprano is capable of.
And that's why she's afraid of her husband getting in business with Tony.
Because what's gonna happen if he says no?
Like, the coach is not even in business with them. He's just involved.
No, you're mistaken. My dog is upstairs.
Blue nylon collar?
Johnny, who is it?
He has our dog.
I thought he was locked in.
Yeah, come get him. I won't want Petey to get hit by a car.
Don't touch animals. This is just a warning. what we could do.
Pete. Hey, Pete, come here. What, no reward? Just kidding. I'm an animal lover.
Mm-hmm.
You can cheer up about the coach, because I got a feeling he's going to reconsider the big move.
Yeah?
What could I do?
What did he do?
Now, I see this coach trying to abandon his team, and I see your friends getting all worked up. So I try to do something about it.
Is that why you think we're so upset, Dad? Because a coach who most of us can't even stand is leaving?
So what difference does that make? You don't have to love him to be successful.
Coach Hauser had sex with Allie.
Yeah.
Told ya!
Shit.
That's why she cut herself. That's why I've been practically living at her house.
Hold on a minute.
Something's was gonna happen to that coach, I'm gonna tell ya.
This is really, really bad.
Nallie's a very
Oh,
pretty
fuck
girl.
no.
She's a child. He's an adult in power. This is wrong.
Looked like she was sophisticated in your guy's eyes.
Dad!
We don't justify this.
What if this had been Meadow?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of confusion? Coach should not have been in any position where there's even a remote possibility of confusion.
I'm losing my fucking mind here.
Try to make sense of something this vile. When he was putting all his weight behind this guy staying, too.
Mom, I only told you we wouldn't make Coach Hauser stay here.
This is a horrible, horrible thing.
And yeah,
she's
he
in
could
love
do
with me.
something.
Well, I mean, that coach is not going anywhere except 6 feet under.
And she's in love with
What
him.
about Dina? If she finds out about her father, it'll totally destroy her life. Just tell Dad to let him go anywhere he wants, okay?
But then again, like, the dude is a predator and you just send him on his way.
I mean, they just want him to get rid of him.
You did. You kidnapped the coach's dog and all that other shit. But if you do one more thing...
Oh, shut up, Arty. You know...
No, I'm fucking serious.
Oh, you don't know what's been happening.
You want to know what your wonderful fucking coach did? He fucked little Allie Vandermeed, and who knows who else he fucked.
They all have daughters.
That's why that kid slid her wrist, you stonard. And my daughter should know this shit? Fucking degenerate son of a bitch.
He deserves to die. Betraying children?
Buddy, believe me, he ain't gonna be doing that shit no more. I guarantee you that.
And they'll do worse than just take his dog.
Ah, I tell you, they're gonna send him 6 feet under.
Nobody told you to put my nephew under surveillance.
I just wanted to be on the safe side, and I'm glad I did. Because your nephew is not just hanging out at that kitty bar twice. Last week, he goes toward the medical center, and they lose him. Your nephew is talking to the feds. I mean, where else would he be going where it requires such precautions?
The psychiatrist. But you know about that. You don't like it, but you know. Don't jump to conclusions. The fact that he gave him the position made their relationship a lot better than it used to be.
Just a bit more smoother, yeah.
But still.
So, did you get any golf in down in Boca, Uncle June?
Fucking manners, please.
He's teasing him about it. It's not gonna get better.
You let the man tee you off. You yap worse than 6 bobbers. If you'd have shut up during that game against Mountain Lakes, you wouldn't have missed that fucking fly ball. I was ashamed to face my friends.
Don't use what you know about your uncle against him, please.
Emotions get high and information is right there.
Yeah.
Uncle June's in a muff.
What?
Oh, did I say muff? I meant rough.
Mm-hmm. He has the potential to hate you and do bad things about it,
What's
man.
that smell? Did you guys go to a sushi bar?
God damn.
Thought you were a bacala man, Uncle June. What are you doing eating sushi?
You fucking run off at the mouth, you know that?
South of the border.
God damn, stop. It's funny now. I just don't know how he's gonna react.
Hey, listen, my friend. At least I can deal with my own problems. Unlike some I know.
Yeah.
The blows are going down.
Hey, guys, we here to play golf?
They all have ammo against each other.
Hey, he completely lacks respect.
Sick and tired of having to make excuses for him all the time. Because he's a fucking mental weakling.
I know.
He's seeing a psychiatrist, for Christ's sake.
Don't spread the word.
This is gonna bad.
No shit.
Indictment's being prepared. He's spilling his guts.
Fucking knew it.
Fuck off.
God knows how much of our family business he has. If the place is bugged, suppose this shrink gets scared or something.
She's actually really strong. She managed.
Anthony wants to play games, okay? I taught him how to play baseball.
You talking about clipping him?
Nobody would slap my wrist if I did.
The judicial system has gotten much better in dealing with sexual predators.
Oh, yeah. Let's impeach him.
Why you feel punishing this man falls upon you?
Well, it sure doesn't fall upon you.
Because he should have known. He was around him, stuff like that, maybe.
We'll get some judge. We'll give him psychiatric counseling. So maybe he could talk about his unhappy childhood. And,
Just like
and we can have
you?
sympathy for the fuck. Because he's the real victim here, right?
Interesting how we can switch that around.
Why do you think you, Anthony Soprano, always has to set things right?
Yeah, why?
Power hungry, power trip, pride got hurt. A lot of things.
Probably because as a kid he couldn't do things right for his mom or his dad.
You're reaching a lot with this one.
It's about the thing. You know what?
You know who?
Nothing's happened yet, has it?
Just gotta make the call. I'm savoring the moment.
You gotta call it off.
All right, don't worry about it.
It's wrong, Tony. You can't do it.
Oh, what he did isn't.
I'm begging you. I hate the guy, too.
You wanna call the cops? Hey, here's the phone. Take out in 2 fucking years and I'll move up to Saskatchewan and then, you know what I'll do? He'll teach girls soccer.
The worst is, I could see that. Justice system is not always great with these cases.
If something happens to him, who's it gonna help, huh? His daughter? That girl? No, you, Tony.
Good point. It's to make you feel good.
So don't even think about calling this justice. Leave it to the cops.
Who the fuck do you think you are coming in here talking to me like this?
This is me asking you.
Why don't you get the fuck out of here?
But then, are you gonna do it? You're pissed, but still, did you listen? You made a good point.
Corrado.
I am a bit worried about Uncle Junior's girlfriend.
Did I tell you to keep your goddamn mouth shut?
No, Corrado, don't hit me!
Dude. Well, I mean, of all the things, this is not that bad. I think the relationship is done.
Get your pencils and your crap and the rest of your shit. Don't be here tomorrow.
Oh, no, Corrado, don't leave.
I'm sorry, but it's so dramatic. No.
I am so sorry.
For something so trivial.
After 16 years, right?
16 years. It's giving me feels of Indian slaps. Your pride is responsible for all this shit, man.
You there at the place?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Walk away. Just fucking walk away. Don't do it.
Okay.
Fuck.
Neighbors were shocked to hear of charges brought against Donald Hauser,
Okay.
coach of the Verbum Day high school girls soccer team.
His career is done. Dude.
Come here. We have a good time.
What is with you tonight?
The fact that she's looking down at this, like...
It's never fun to see one of your parents
Yeah.
being that drunk, you know?
Jesus. Mixed with alcohol. Oh, Tony, that's wonderful. Let's get you to bed.
Pamela. I didn't hurt nobody.
Do you think that a part of himself is feeling good about it?
We'll see. It's a tough episode. Tough subject too. The line gets blurred when kids are involved.
Yeah.
I'm not a supporter of any kind of violence, and I mean, I did debates when I was in high school, drama club and stuff. Like, I don't remember why we did debates, but we did, and the argument I would go to for stuff like that, like not necessarily child abuse or just violence as a response to violence, and I'd say you don't want to turn yourself into a piece of shit as well. Like, you don't want to be a bad guy to punish a bad guy. When kids are involved, though, it gets tough. Like, the arguments are harder to say, and they are harder to make sense too, because kids are innocent. They should never be faced with a situation like this. Now we're talking about a girl, a teenager, who not only was probably manipulated and because I mean, Meadow did say she was in love with her coach, so that doesn't just happen.
Coach to have sex with him.
Yeah, she was manipulated. Like, he's the adult. He's the one that understands the situation. He knows what he's asking. He knows what buttons he's pushing, and she's a child. Like, at that age, especially girls, like, we like to say that, oh, we're more mature than we are, but she was a child and he manipulated her, and it led to this fucking show where she's in a situation where she feels like it's on her. Like, he's leaving and she feels bad about it. I'm guessing that's why, like, all her thoughts would have been mixed in her head. He wouldn't leave his wife, because of course not, but that's because he knows what he's doing is wrong and there's no future for him and that girl. But she's in love and she doesn't see what's wrong, because he would have pushed her towards, you know, that train of thought that what they're doing is okay and that they have a beautiful love story.
But you can talk about it.
But you can't talk about it. So the pressure of not getting to talk about it, the pressure of being in love with the guy who can't be with you, the heartbreak, and if she knew about him leaving, that pain led her to sending a message for help. So I also, like Jennifer said, I also think that she did not try to kill herself because she wanted to die. Like, she tried to send a message. I'm thinking maybe she wanted the coach to, I mean, we know, they did say her parents, like, I don't remember which parent is away in Europe.
Her father.
Her father's in Europe, and the mom, I don't remember what she's doing, but they don't seem present much.
The mom is in shock right now. She can't deal with this.
In any case, they're not dealing with the situation, so she's not getting the support she should have gotten at home. Everyone else is ignoring it. I'm thinking the coach would have been the only adult figure in her life, or the one that took care of her, listened to her.
I don't know if the mom was out of it before.
But still, if her father is away, I could see that situation happening.
Like,
so
she's missing her father, and she decided to.
He would have been a replacement,
she was more
sort of
inclined to his approach. You think? Because of it?
Maybe it started like this, like kind of like he's the coach. He's got so much control over her life, of all their lives. He's the one pushing her towards glory. All the parents are supporting of him. He's loved by everyone. She doesn't have a father figure in her life because he's away, so maybe he kind of filled that place in her heart and in her life, and that's how it started. So I'm wondering if maybe the suicide attempt was either because everything got too much and she tried to send a message to her mom, or if she tried to convince him, like, see, like, I'm not doing good.
He
And
wasn't supposed to leave before the attempt, though. He decided to leave
it was
after
but
the attempt.
in the episode, I was wondering if he did something and then tried to run away. But offers like this don't happen overnight, and the timing would have been too good. So I'm thinking it just got announced right after, but the deal was done earlier, and he was lying when he said that he was gonna stick around and stuff. So. Because, like, maybe she knew about that as well. Maybe that was a way for her to try and get him to stay. And it's fucked up, because if she was in that mind space because of him, if he pushed her to that with his manipulations and stuff, like, he is evil, she's a victim, and it sucks that no one was, aware of this, and everyone was loving this coach and just pushing for him to stick around with these girls. So, yes, I kind of understand, like, this need for violence.
How a good guy like Arty, who's not with the mob, has those violent thoughts about that man,
Yeah, like I said, in these situations, arguments against, punishments and violence, they get harder to say, because no one wants to see a child get hurt. Like, they are the most innocent thing. You don't want to see a child get hurt by a guy, an adult, who was supposed to be in charge of her. Was supposed to, she was supposed to trust him, she was supposed to look up to him, and he took advantage of that. So I understand the need for retribution. I understand the desire for violence. But then again, I don't condone that. So I like that Arty managed to get through to Tony, and I like the point that he made about his need for violence being for him and not for his daughter or the other girls on the team.
What is it gonna bring to Ali, to Meadow, if the guy just...
Because, I mean, they were asking.
Or disappeared.
Yeah, Meadow did say, like, don't do anything. Like, what's it gonna do to my friend? Like, what's it gonna do to everyone? And it's true. Like, if the girl is stuck in this mindset that she's so deeply in love with this man and like, they're gonna end up together and stuff, and he ends up dead.
She might think that's because of her.
Yep.
Which is gonna get worse.
And Meadow would have felt it too. Like, if she's the one that told Tony about what's going on, which, I mean, she was, and he ended up dying, and it sent her friend in a whirlwind of emotions and problems, she would have felt guilty for telling the truth.
But that I think, though, with Tony, because when you're with the mafia, your day-to-day life is doing bad things, like beating people up for when they don't pay up, killing people when they're doing crazy shit, who knows?
That's his go-to reaction.
It's easy to go towards that option at the end, like just kill the man and get rid of the problem.
I feel like his reasoning came from two sides, like two things. First, since he is a mobster, he is a criminal, he knows how the justice system, fails here and there. Like, they can't catch us, so they're probably not gonna manage to catch him correctly or make him pay correctly for what he's doing. So I mean, he doesn't trust the cops, so why would he trust them on this when it's, and to be fair, we've seen instances, maybe not with pedophiles, like maybe not with child abuse and stuff. Those tend to, catch people's hearts a lot more, and they do get punishment, but it is also true.
You're gonna be a bottom feeder in jail.
Yeah. But it is also true that with cases like this, like Tony said it best, who's to say that they would not send him to a psychiatrist, that he would not be made to talk about his feelings, his past, and then someone would turn him into a victim, because to be fair, it's really rare that someone turns into a piece of shit, a criminal or whatever, for no reason. Everyone that did something bad in their life, like when you go back in time, you can try to make sense of why they did what they did. Doesn't justify it.
Doesn't excuse it either.
But you can make a connection between what could have happened to this coach, potentially going to psychiatrist, talking about his life, talking about why he became what he is today and why he did what he did, and what Tony is going through, being a criminal, doing the stuff that he's doing, why he's doing it, and going back in his life to make a victim out of him, basically understand the mobster and why he's living this life. So it's really interesting that it came from him, that he's the one that was like, he doesn't deserve this, when he's also going through that. And then
those sessions are paying off.
And then it comes down to weighing, what crime is less deserving of a pardon or something, which I'm like, no, you can't really measure it. The only way we can measure it is by saying, like, one did that to a child. And like I said, children are the picture of innocence. You should not harm a child ever. But then again, that's because we see children as these innocent beings. But when you turn around and you look at Tony, he killed people, he killed fathers, he destroyed families. He's not an angel. It's just that he can justify it in his mind.
I mean, usually it's because they are They are working with them, and they are not bringing their part of the bargain.
I don't remember which episode I said that, but crime is relative depending on the reason behind it. Money crimes, if you feel like you've been robbed, like, the episode where they were talking about how Italian Americans were victims of racism and basically they were never given a chance and stuff like that. It felt like everything they did after is justified by this, when they've never truly been through this, but they justify it like that, like, we've been robbed and so we robbed them back. So money crimes are, not easier per se, but people pardon them easily, because who hasn't felt like the government has robbed them? Who hasn't felt like discriminated against when it comes to jobs and money and taxes and all of that? Like, it's so easy to connect with people who do that. So either you connect with them or you're like, you fucking moron, like, we suffer, but you found yourself an easy way out and stuff like that. So it's but still, it's money, and everyone struggles with money, and people kind of let that go easily.
You want to be in a position of power, you want to be someone, and for that you need to have money. So yeah, people are looking up to you when you're doing those type of crimes.
But I could see someone like Tony, who screws over the government and deals and stuff, look at someone who manages to screw over the government and be like, yeah, good for you, because he does it too. So if he does it, it's fine. And murder, it's a necessary evil in their universe. But kids, that's a no-go, because he's a father. And so he would feel repelled against that. And he doesn't see a justification for that. But just like we're watching this and we're talking about this and stuff, but technically we shouldn't see a justification for what he does either.
I mean, like we always said, we understood. We don't condone it, though.
Yeah. But that's the one thing that I can see with them. And the other thing, like the reason why he would turn to violence and do it for himself, I feel like it's a matter of pride. Because maybe, like, he was hanging out with this coach. He was, bringing him to his club and giving him a good time. He didn't see it coming, and he was pushing for the situation. So maybe he felt like he was played. Like something happened, in front of him, and he didn't see it. potentially it screwed over his daughter. It basically his daughter had to deal with the consequences because she was talking to her friend about this and she was aware of this and he wasn't. And he would feel so powerless with this situation because what do you do? You know? So his go-to solution would be violence. Like that he can do. That he
but
can
I love
manage.
what Jennifer told Tony in his session. Why do you believe that you should be the one to do something? That you should be the one to make it right? At the end?
Well, when she said that, that's where this idea came to me, that maybe he felt powerless because something was happening in front of him and he didn't notice. So he felt, personally responsible.
My comment about his childhood is not far-fetched then, because when he was a child, his mom was nuts. And it was awful with his parents. And he was powerless back then. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't do shit about it.
So you're trying to say, okay.
So now that he can do something, that he's in a position of power, he's want to make it right.
Yeah, but
he can
it's
do
not like,
something.
unless we don't know, because we don't know everything about his childhood, but
from what
as
we
a
saw,
child,
that's a lot already from what we saw in one episode.
No, but in his mind, I think he believes that parents should protect their children at all costs. He cares about his family so much. It's giving him nightmares that something would happen to them, or dreams about ducks, and something did happen. And he's always, control is such an important thing for him. Like, he needs to know what his children know. Are they aware of what I'm doing? Are they aware of who I am? Where are they going to go in the future and stuff? He was pushing Meadow to, like, I was thinking about this in the beginning of the episode, but she does choir, she does soccer, she studies for her grades, and she's got good grades. Like, he wants her to be a picture perfect,
he wants
child.
her to be socially involved so that she won't be and die a criminal life at the end. Because
deep down, yeah, he doesn't want them to follow.
Kids who do choir, go social events, soccers, they're not gonna be criminals in the future. Why not?
That's what he said, which that's not necessarily true. There's a whole bunch of issues that can come from being an athlete or staying away from drugs. That's one thing, but there are many, many other ways to go down the deep end. Which, I mean, I thought at first that's why the girl tried to she cut herself because it was
of
like
the pressure.
Maybe the pressure, maybe she's being pushed. We saw how the parents were getting, angry and involved in the game, and sometimes the children are not into it, but the parents are so into it that they don't really care about anything else. And that was kind of his first reaction too when they found out like that, there was someone who cut herself and stuff. He was kind of brushing it off like, I mean, she just did, it was a cry for help, but it was not a genuine attempt, right? So I guess, if you say you can play, you can play. Like, he was looking forward to the game, not the consequences of what happened and the mental state of this girl and his daughter, who's friends with her. So, yeah, when you focus on the game too much, you don't focus on the players as much, and you miss stuff like this. But yeah, I guess if he wants his children to be perfect, to be good, to try many things and basically perform well in all these things, and he wants them away from the path he chose, which I get it, and maybe that's why he freaked out too, because when he found out that, even the right path is not necessarily the right path, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't keep her away from situations like this, even when I try hard. So yeah, what's to say that she won't end up like that girl, that something is not going to happen to her, to Meadow, away from Tony's eyes, that he's not going to notice again, and that something like that is going to screw her over. Like, it's lack of control, lack of certainty about your children's future. And since he's already on a bad path and he's already involved, and you could see, like, in his mind he could be thinking it's already easy for them to follow in my footsteps. Like, it'd be easy for them to be screwed up because he's screwed up from his parents. So he's doing all he can to stop that from happening, but it's still happening. The world is ugly.
Now, something much easier to talk about.
Uncle.
I mean, just this image that people have that what a man should be and should do. I mean, it's gonna differ from country to country, culture and culture, and a different era, because what men were supposed to be like in the 90s or at the beginning of the 2000 years.
This stupid idea
it's completely different from now.
This stupid idea that they have that a manly man should act a certain way, and if you stray from that path, you're gonna be made fun of, you're gonna be called like gay and all of that, you're gonna be judged, and like it's in this case it was Junior with his sex life, but it's the same with Tony and the psychiatrist, him going to Jennifer and talking about his feelings, when a man should never have to do that, because a man should be strong enough to keep it inside and deal with it. So that they both sent darts at each other. I'm surprised that Junior didn't do anything earlier about Tony going to the psychiatrist, but now I don't remember his name, but the guy who's always with him.
Mikey? Didn't they call him Mikey?
I don't remember, but he's the one that killed Brennan, right? And so he's been following, like he's been sending people to follow Tony. He's been looking at him like he thinks he's the one talking to the feds, and that is dangerous on its own. You're adding to that the fact that he's talking to a psychiatrist, and he could be saying, I mean, he is saying a bunch of stuff, and it is kind of true that with the world that he's in and the life he's been living, if he says too much and Jennifer feels scared, or her family was pressuring her to drop him as a client, or say something about that, and she's saying no, like she's being really loyal to him and she's doing her job correctly, which we're good with that and it's fine. But what if she truly gets scared one day and she goes to the cops? What if she says anything? I know, like, I think he's right when he says, like, basically patient and doctor confidentiality. You can't take anything that's been said in that office and keep it in court. But still, I know that, and they kind of know that, but it's not going to stop anyone from being paranoid and
just
judging.
That big what if.
Well, yeah.
That is just over their heads.
But then again, and I mean, we do know that word gets around. Like something as simple as Junior going down on his girlfriend, and he said don't talk about it. But then people talk, and people overhear, and eventually Carmela figured it out, and Tony figured it out.
Like, I mean, Junior's girlfriend told our estheticians,
but people heard,
or that esthetician said the word or implied something, and they talk.
So even when you try not to say anything, or you say to people don't say anything, word gets around.
Sorry.
And I mean, when they get angry, the both of them, Junior and Tony, when they get angry, they start saying shit. They start saying truths, and it damages the other's pride. And when they get even more angry, you don't know what they're gonna do. We already know he's petty, and we already know like he's already being pushed by Tony's mother, because she's angry at her son constantly, and she wants Junior to do something about this, so she tries to push.
You're hurting his pride, his manhood.
And you're adding to the fire. You were in a good place with him, but now you made fun of him, you made problems for him, you put in question his relationship, and his pride led him to break up with his girlfriend of 16 years, and he's not happy about that. He's feeling sad. He's gonna basically see all of this bullshit as Tony's fault. So problems, they are damaged. They are petty, and they should all go to a psychiatrist and talk about their issues. In any case, but really tough episode. Again, we couldn't talk English for shit today.
That reminds me, do you think that Tony feels good by doing the right thing?
The fact that he got like that after, I don't think so.
No.
I think he was, he did what, I mean, he felt guilty. He heard Arty, and he was like, yeah, okay, you know what? He asked me. He's his friend too. Like, he did what he did for him, and because he had a point, I think, but he's trying, like, it's to let go of the control that basically to let go of his need for violence here. I think it damaged him a little bit. Meadow is not happy with how he was in the end. I think that it's like you said, it's never easy to see a parent or anyone in that state of mind, and I think maybe she feels that it's her fault because she asked him not to do anything. But then again, maybe, like, I think it's conflicting feelings, because she would feel happy that he didn't beat up the coach, unless really deep down she wanted him to do something about it. She was just scared of how that would go. But still, like, all of that led to what she witnessed in the end, and it's not a happy situation. He was happy, but it's not a happy situation.
Or maybe maybe deep down Tony is glad that he didn't do something, and he's just conflicted because of who he is supposed to be as a mobster.
Well, he wouldn't. He did it. He still, like, he called and he said, no, don't do it. So, yeah, like, at the end of the day, he chose to listen to Arty, which is good. But the fact that he ended up like, almost blackout drunk and
I mean,
in
he
that
has
state.
problem with his life as a mobster and just his life as a father and husband.
Do what's good for your children, or do what you're used to doing as a mobster,
Yeah. He's been clashing with those ideas since the beginning.
In any case, we'll see next episode if they keep, you know, if they keep that going, if we see more of that, more of the after effects of this. But like I said, hard episode. And like I was saying, we had an issue with our English today. I don't know what was going on in our minds, but sorry if we didn't make any sense during the episode, especially. I think the discussion went well, but the episode itself was difficult. So we'll see you next week with another episode that will go hopefully better.
All right.
See you then, guys. Thank you for watching with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
All right. So we're going to see you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.